Hello and welcome to Yoga by YogiJay. Today we'll be doing a core balance flow. We'll be starting down on the mat, working with the core, and then slowly building up to some standing postures focused on balance. There won't be a guided relaxation in today's class, and that is purposeful as I stop my guiding about halfway in the length of this video. And then I leave it up to you to decide, do you want to add additional movements? Do you want to integrate your personal practice into this flow? Or do you want to just stop there and go on with your day? So there will be a moment of meditation at the end. It'll be a nice way to transition from the mat to off the mat if you are deciding to just work with the length of the video. Otherwise, you can let the video turn off and then keep going with your own personal practice. And for those who are new to yoga, I highly encourage you to work on building your personal practice. So you could even just repeat the same flow we did today when you get to the end if you want to keep going. But when you build your personal practice, it adds an extra layer of challenge where you have to kind of guide yourself through this practice. And so not only are you guiding yourself through the practice, but then you're also dealing with all the other elements of a yoga practice. It's bringing awareness to the mind, the breath, what comes up as you go into different postures, how does the breath transform in different postures. So it's a really good learning experience. Now, the reason that we decided to create this video was because I think that, especially in uncertain times, having a way to balance the mind and engage the core with can bring confidence to your day is really important. So the core here, the core work we do is meant to not only build confidence and strength in the body, but also to set roots, which will then work our way into our balancing postures. So now that we have those roots set, we're a little bit more stable. So we'll be working with finding a nice balance between effort and ease. When I was recording this video, I had to record it multiple times due to some technical difficulties. Currently right now, just recording with a phone camera. And it was pretty frustrating to say the least, but it was interesting because every time I re-recorded the video at the end of the practice, I always came out feeling more balanced, more confident, and was able to kind of shrug off the frustrations that I had felt before. So I think that from my personal experience, this video brings strength and balance to my day, so I hope it can bring strength and balance to your day. So with that, let's get to practice. Thank you all, and be well, friends. To get started for today's practice, come down onto your back. As you lie on your mat, take a moment to shift around, finding as much length as you can in your spine and in your body. And then bringing the soles of the feet close to the glutes, bending the knees, and then bringing the feet to the edges of the mat as the knees tent together. Nice way to help reduce tension in the low back as you lay here on the mat. And a couple moments here to begin to bring awareness to the body, the mind, and breath. And rather than analyzing these three different areas interrelated with one another, just observe. I find a helpful question to ask myself as I step onto the mat and into the practice is, what is it like to be me in this moment? So as you rest here, what is it like to be you in this moment, here and now? And when you're ready, begin to deepen your breath. Trying to bring the breath into the base of the lungs, right around the center line of the belly, as the belly relaxes and the torso fills with air. And every exhale, let the breath flow out from the top of the lungs, right by where the collarbones are, all the way down to the base of the lungs. And start with a gentle inhalation and exhalation, and gradually begin to deepen each breath. As you take each new inhale, growing it longer, and as you take each new exhale, growing it slower. Eventually reaching your max capacity. Full exchanges of inhalation and exhalation. And as you do this, start to add a little bit more engagement at the base of the exhale. So you pull the belly button in and up to the spine, pushing every last drop of breath out as you engage the core. And you'll start to find this nice balance between engagement and release. A balance between pressure building and pressure falling away. And as you find this balance of breath, know that the mind will likely wander today. And when it does, acknowledge it, and then pull it back to the breath, back to sensation here and now. Then on your next inhale, take the deepest breath you've taken today at the top of the lungs. Hold the breath in for a couple moments, open the mouth, and let it out with a sigh. Gently begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, and then extend the arms out wide into a T. Reach through the fingertips and draw the knees into the chest so you can then wrap the arms around the knees, giving yourself a little hug to rock side to side. As you rock here, feeling weight shifting, sensation shifting, and this nice gentle sweetness from the rocks. And then when you're ready, coming back to a place of stillness. And as you find that place of stillness, take the arms down along the torso, palms face down, and you can even walk the thumbs under the seat for a little extra support. Extend the legs up to the sky, pull the toes back here, and focus back to the breath. As sensation builds in the legs, in the core, let the breath be the guiding element that helps you to find ease in this shape, as well as effort, engaging in the core, reaching through the heels. As sensation builds, the body will warm, the mind may wander a little bit more. Again, anytime it does, catch it and bring it back again and again. On your next inhale, extend the soles of the feet a little bit higher, lengthen the legs, flex the toes, and on your next exhale, slowly begin to lower the right leg extended down towards the mat, pausing about an inch or so off the mat. Point the toes, take a breath in, use the quad to lift the leg back up. And as you flex the feet, the left leg starts to lower down. Again, pausing about an inch off the mat to then point the toes and lift the leg back to the sky, working side to side with your breath. Every inhale helps to pull the leg up. Every exhale helps you to guide the leg down nice and slowly, engaging through the core. let the legs scissor kick side to side here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, lift the leg back up to the sky. Take a nice big breath in here, and on your exhale, bend the knees into the belly, giving yourself a nice little hug as you rock side to side. And then when you're ready, take the arms out wide into a T position. With the knees bent, stack the knees on top of the hips. Let the lower half of the legs, the calves, become parallel with the floor. And then pressing the palms into the mat, take a nice big breath in, and on your exhale, let the knees rock to the right side. Nice little core engagement in this twist, pausing about halfway down. And then inhaling to come back to center, and exhaling to take the knees to the other side. And as you start to lower the knees side to side with repetition, again, tuning back to how the body feels, how the breath feels at the start of the flow. And then as time continues to go on, as you continue to sustain this movement, where the mind and the breath and the body move to. Again, using the breath to dissolve any narrative forming in the mind as you balance the body. Balancing core engagement to release as the knees lift, and then back to core engagement as the knees lower. If you'd like to take this further, you can play with, as you lower the knees to one side, extending the top leg long. And as another variation, if you feel extra strong today or want a little bit more of a challenge, you can play with extending both legs out as the knees fall to one side or the other. So choose your variation, whatever is most accessible to you, and stay with the breath. Working here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees back up to center. Take a nice big breath in, and on your exhale, bend the knees. Place the soles of the feet down on the floor by the glutes. Let the soles of the feet come together and the knees open wide into a reclined, bound angled position. As you take this moment of pause, notice the effects of the core practice. Notice where you started today and what it's like to be you in this moment. These periods of integration allow us to feel the effects of the practice and to balance out any overwhelming sensations or anything that may have been stirred up in the midst of the flow. When you're ready, you can bend the knees back to the belly. This time, hold on to the backs of the thighs. Begin to rock forward and back on the mat. Starting slow, starting small, and then growing that to become bigger rocks, north to south, feeling sensation shifting and moving across the back body. Let it be playful. Take a little smile as you go here. And then when you're ready, next time you rock forward, paws lifted on the sit bones. Feet stay up in the sky. As you hold on to the backs of the knees, open the chest, the core and the quads will need to engage a little bit. Toes can point. If it's available, you can start to flex the feet, reaching out through the heels as you pull the toes back towards the shins. If you'd like to take this farther in your upward facing boat, you can play with extending one arm out or both arms out. So now you really need to recruit the quads and the core to sustain the shape. If you want to take it even further, you can play with extending both legs and then hold here for 3 big breaths. Every inhale feeling pressure build, every exhale using the engagement in the belly to sustain. If you wobble, if you fall, smile, jump right back in, and on that third exhale, bend the knees back in, hold on to the backs of the thighs, place the feet on the floor, sit up nice and tall for a moment, feeling the abdominals release, and then walk the hands forward between the legs, letting the spine round, soaking up the core strength you just built. And then walking the hands back in towards the seat. You can bring the soles of the feet back together and then let the knees rock to the right side, pivoting around on your mat to come up into a tabletop position. And as you find your tabletop position, take a moment and then start to move through some cats and cows. Every inhale, the belly drops, the chest and the tail lift. And every exhale, the back of the heart reaches to the sky as the chin drops towards the chest and the tail reaches towards the floor. As you move the breath with your movements here, tuning back to sensation. Part of finding balance is going between one extreme and the other. Eventually, we work our way back to the center point. When you feel ready, you can come back to a nice neutral position, nice neutral table, curling the toes under. If the wrists are feeling tender at all for this next movement, you can come onto the forearms. And then when you're ready, reach back through the heels to lift the knees just an inch off the mat. You start to find a hovering table here, needing to recruit the abdominals a little bit more. And then from this hovering table, walk the feet together so the big toes touch at the center of the mat. Fingers gripping against the floor like little gecko fingers. Take a nice big breath in to prepare, and on your exhale, start to pivot the knees to the right side as you gaze over the right shoulder. Inhaling back to center, and then exhaling over to the left. Starting to hammock the knees side to side, utilizing core engagement, and then finding balance in the rest of the body to sustain with stability. So a gentle bend in the elbows, no need to grip in the face, you don't need the face muscles here. And as you work side to side, link movement with breath. As heat builds, strengthen the breath. When you're ready, you can bring the knees back to center, still hovering with your table, and then lifting the hips into a bent knee down dog. Take a moment in this bent knee down dog here to walk out the dog, bending one knee and the other. You can even work with pressing through the hand, reaching the shoulders forward, and then softening the shoulders back and down. When you're ready to come into your fullest expression of your down dog, bend your knees into your belly, lift the hips high, and on an exhale, extend the heels towards the floor, legs lengthen. Taking a couple breaths here in your fullest expression of down dog in this moment. And as you sustain, notice the transition from movement to stillness. It takes time again for everything to balance out. It's just like life off the mat. It takes time. It takes practice. So stay with it. Don't give up on yourself. If you feel like any other movements may serve you here, feel free to take those movements. Again, listening to your body, letting your body's intuition be the priority in every practice. When you're ready here, on an inhale, you can press into the balls of the feet to help lift the heels. And then on your exhale, walk the feet to the top of the mat as you find a forward fold. Bend into the knees, let the belly rest on the thighs. Take a nice ragdoll forward fold. Hold on to the elbows and rock a little side to side. Feeling the upper back releasing and some lengthening happening in the hamstrings. When you're ready, bend into the knees a little bit more deeply. Take a nice big inhale, reach the arms out up overhead, and on your exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Again, taking a moment here to pause and integrate. As you take this moment to pause, finding the breath again if you've lost it, and then feeling the feet steady on the floor. As we start to move into our balancing series here, you want to spread the toes nice and wide, and then take the hands to the hips and take a moment to rock side to side so you can feel the shift in weight from one foot to the other. When you're ready, rocking into your right foot, lifting onto the left toes, and if available, bringing the left knee up to the sky. On your exhale, extend the left leg back behind you and lower the left foot down to the floor to find a high lunge. On your next inhale, the arms lift out overhead, and on your exhale, hands float to heart center. Breath in, start to inhale the arms back out overhead, and on your exhale, hinge at the hips 45 degrees, reaching the arms forward towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Pressed into the ball of the left foot, lifting the left heel, weight shifts into the right foot, and then that left leg lifts, warrior 3. On your next inhale, bend into the left knee, draw the left knee forward, balancing on the right leg, finding crane pose, arms out wide. And on your exhale, extend the left leg long and lower it back to the floor. As it lands, big sun breath, arms lift. Exhale, hands back to the hips. Shifting into the left foot, right heel lifts, right knee lifts. And on your breath out, extend that right leg behind you and lower the right foot down to the mat, high lunge. Breath in, arms lift. Breath out, hands to heart center. Continuing to flow here. Inhale again, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, hinge forward 45 degrees, arms reach towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Let weight shift into that left foot, right leg lifts, warrior 3. And on your exhale, draw the right knee up towards the belly, back to standing on the left leg. Right leg extends and right leg lowers. Breath in, sun breath to stand, taking in the day. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Again, continuing this flow, shift back to the right foot, left knee lifts up towards the sky. Hands stay at the heart this time, and on your breath out, kick the left leg out in front of you. Toes pull towards the hip, quad engages. Try to keep length in the spine. As you inhale, bend the knee, and as you exhale, extend the leg behind. Warrior 3. Lower the left foot down. Inhale, arms lift, high lunge. Exhale, soften the shoulders to settle. Breath in again, lengthen the fingers, and on your exhale, hands come to heart center. The body pivots forward 45 degrees with the floor. Again, shift into that right foot, left leg lifts, warrior 3. Next breath in, left knee bends, lifting to crane, arms reach out wide. And exhale this time, left ankle lands on the right knee, foot flex, sitting back, balancing chair. When you're ready to release your balancing chair here, press through the right foot to lift the left knee to the sky, and exhale left foot back to the mat. Nice big sun breath to rebalance, to integrate, and exhale hands to heart center. Shift into the left foot now, right leg lifts up. Knee reaches to the sky, staying bent to start. As weight shifts into the left foot, on an exhale, extend the right leg long out in front of you. Core engages, quad engages, maybe a little shake. And then breath in, bend the knee. Exhale, extend the right leg back behind you. Warrior 3. To then lowering the right foot down to the mat as you find your high lunge. Breath in, the arms lift. Breath out to settle. Breath in to lengthen. Exhale, hands to the heart. Pivot the torso forward. 45 degrees, kick off that right foot, weight shifts into the left, warrior 3, right leg lifts, and your next breath in the right knee lifts to the sky, crane pose, standing on the left leg, exhaling, right ankle lands on top of the left knee as you sit back to your balancing chair. Use a focal point here called a drishti in yoga to sustain balance, and then inhale when you're ready, right knee lifts. Exhale, right foot back to the mat. One more time, sun breath, arms lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Continuing with this flow, shift into the right foot, and again, left knee lifts to the sky. This time changing it up once again for this final round. On your exhale, left leg extends out, quad engages, and then inhale, left knee bends, exhale, extend the left leg long, warrior 3, pause here. We'll skip the lunge this time. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center, left knee lifts, crane pose. And on your exhale, bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh, finding your tree stance. If that's too high, you can always bring it to the inside of the right calf. Take a couple breaths here, sustaining in tree. You can always take the arms wide for a little bit more support and balance. And if you wobble, which will likely happen, take a little smile. It's just yoga. The wobbles are where we learn, where we grow, and the method of finding balance. When you're ready to release, left knee lifts back up, exhaling, lowers down, and then inhaling, arms lift again, sun breath. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shifting into the left foot this time, right knee lifts as we go to the opposite side. Exhale, right leg extends out, quad engages, core firms up. Breath in, bend the knee. Exhale, extend the right leg back, warrior 3. Again, pause here, we'll skip the lunge again.
Next breath, and right knee pulls back forward, crane pose. And as we did on the other side, that right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh or to the inside of the left calf. Foot and thigh or calf press into one another to find length through the crown. And as you feel those little micro adjustments firing off in the legs, using the breath to find balance. And then when you feel ready to release here from your tree, take it nice and slow. The slower you move, the more sensitivity and awareness is in the body. Right knee will lift up, and exhaling, the right foot comes back to the mat. As you balance out here, take hands to the belly, a moment to pause as we shift from movement to stillness. Taking this time here to check back in and to ask that question again, that grounding question. What is it like to be me in this moment, this place, here and now? Where is my breath? Where is my mind? Where is my body? If you notice after taking that question that your body is asking for more movement or a longer practice, feel free to take the time to do so. If you'd like to end your practice here, you can end it together with me, taking a couple more breaths in this little meditation. And if you are taking extra movements, I'd encourage you to take a moment at the end of your practice to come into a relaxation posture or a moment of meditation, so you can feel the effects of the practice, so you can shift from doing to non-doing, and so you can integrate and move with balance, with a sense of groundedness back into your day. Let's take a nice big breath in together at the top. Hold it in for a moment and then sigh it out. Bring the hands to heart center. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Be well, friends.